And ladies and gentlemen, next is a panel discussion on rolling stock and systems, emerging business opportunities in India. And may I invite our eminent panelists, Mr. Rajesh Agrawal, Principal Advisor, Tata Steels, New Materials Business. Warm welcome to you, sir. Inviting Dr. Anirudh Gautam, Principal Executive Director, RDSO. Warm welcome, sir. Inviting Mr. M.C. Chauhan, former General Manager, NCR and Metro Railways, Kolkata, Indian Railways. Warm welcome, sir. Inviting Mr. Devendra Dutta Mishra, Executive Director, RS Maha Metro. Warm welcome, sir. Inviting Mr. Harshkumar Bajpayee, MD Schwihag, Keshav Kumar, Railway System Expert, who will be the moderator of this session. Mr. Keshav Kumar is a railway system expert with Urban Infra Group since its inception and is one of the senior members among the editorial advisory board of UIC publications, that is Urban Transport News and Metro Rail Today. I now hand over to Mr. Keshav Kumar to kindly carry forward the proceedings of the session. And sir, may I request you to conclude it in 40 minutes.
Sure, and thank you for giving me this responsibility to conclude this within the time. We have a lot discussed since morning about how the overall urban infrastructure can be developed or was developing within the country and rest of the world. We had taken some of the example. If we talk about the overall development, the railway is, or rail-based transportation is one of the backbone for any of the infrastructure development across the country. So taking the Indian infrastructure development, we have a significant contribution towards the railway and the metro. As present, more than 1 lakh kilometer we are about to operate or operating in Indian Railway, and significant size in metro as well. In the railway development, the civil is the significant portion, but apart from civil, system is also contributing well in terms of the overall capex and the operational expenses. And rolling stock is one of the important aspect of the system development. We have more than 1,000 kilometer or approx 1,000 kilometer metro are under operation, and in Indian Railway I already talked about the kilometers. So more than 3 lakh wagon locomotives and the passenger coaches are operational in Indian Railway, and more than 1,500 coaches are operational in metro. So today we would like to understand from our eminent panelists about how the overall business opportunity, because it is more of the technology driven, not only the supply, the manufacturing, the maintenance, the asset management, and over the period of time we are going to create a lot of good infrastructure related to the rolling stock manufacturing, supply and maintenance part. So we have a very eminent panelist, Mr. Agrawal, Rajesh Agrawal, who is having a significant experience and an extraordinary visionary person who has not only developed the railway infrastructure throughout his railway tenure. Right now he is advising multiple stakeholders who are directly, indirectly involved for the rail-based infrastructure development, whether in railway and the metro. He has worked in the apex level in railways from the policy side, implementation side, and also see the real world of how the overall industry is going to develop. We have Mr. M.C. Chauhan. He is a 1979 batch and having 37 years of experience working in the rail. He also worked for the Kolkata Metro, so he knows all in and out how the overall development, especially for the system area, from the manufacturing, from the supply, contracting, and also see the business potential across going to the next decade. Why I am taking the decade? Because 10 years will be good time to complete change the Indian manufacturing industry toward the railway. We have Mr. Anirudh Gautam, who is the real person going to standardize and give us the way forward for technological advancement from the government side. It will not only involve the policy, but it will also involve the capacity development and the skill assessment in terms of how the overall manufacturing and the system development is going to happen in the Indian Railway and the metro segment. He is the Principal Executive Director in RDSO. We have Mr. D.D. Mishra, Devendra Mishra. He is at present the ED rolling stock in Pune Metro. He has worked a combination of railway and the metro along with the the Delhi Metro, Bangalore Metro, and presently in the Pune Metro, as I told. He also worked in the high-speed network for the system development from Mumbai Ahmedabad project. So we would like to understand from them, all of our expert. Mr. Harsh, he is the industry person. He will give us the complete information related to how the business is working, especially from the vendor and the ancillary side. He has a very good understanding of the industry, how it is going to happen from last 26 years. He is working in a different capacity, and currently he is holding the MD position for the Schwihag, the Switzerland-based company, for making the turnouts and the ancillary components. So welcome all the team members. We have Veer Narayan, who had given a very good presentation and insight about the contractual obligations and the implementation mode. That will also imply with the system contracts. It is very good going to understand about their views. So this will be more of the informal talk, where we have to understand where is the overall potential, how the business is growing related to the rolling stock and their ancillary system. So would like to request Mr. Rajesh Agrawal to their understanding from the public policy and the development procedures for the rolling stock business.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I think there is an exciting opportunity in the days ahead in the rolling stock sector. As you are aware, the Ministry of Railways is, rolled out a string of initiatives for introducing trains. Not only the Vande Bharat trains will be with an investment of more than 1 lakh crore of rupees. But in addition, even the existing trains across the country, they are to be, taken to the next level. So I think apart from this being an opportunity for multinationals, India itself should take it upon itself as a huge opportunity. Presently, we have almost the entire sector being dealt with by MSMEs. Now, MSMEs, the definition has been increased. I think they have the huge opportunity that when investments of lakhs of crores of rupees are being made, how to get into there and, generate more revenue for themselves. So there is a huge opportunity. I think this needs to be brought together. At the same time, apart from trains, there is the private train operation, which is presently in the back burner of Indian Railways, but I don't think the project has died out. So itself again presents a huge opportunity. I would like to request to sort of ask for insights in these areas, and specifically to see how I'm confining myself only to the rolling stock as such, only to the trains. And the train is for what the passenger comes, it's a captive audience for a captive period of time. The moment you have the train in this measure, we will have a shift from road to rail. So road to rail is a project all over Europe. We have this huge shift. Within the shift, we have a captive audience. And then this presents an opportunity not only to the rail industry, but taking it from the rail industry also to the servicing sector. India has a huge strength in services. So the services sector also benefits immensely from this opportunity. I think I'll leave it at that and look forward to hearing questions or whatever. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving this the brief input about how the rolling stock is going to. The next question to Mr. Chauhan about the type of rolling stock which we are using right now in Indian Railway and in the metro. Are we going to see any different type of, because still we have a hesitant of using the aluminum or the new technology which is not proven yet. Rest of the world are using or may use in near future, but we have some the proven type of system using phenomenon. So can we going to change it, because that is also improve the overall industrial the setup they have to develop from the longer period of run of the business.
Yes, Indian Railways are also going to change in rolling stock design. already tenders are in place, which would be finalized by March 2023. 200 train sets, they would be having stainless steel or aluminum. Choices have been given to vendors. Next 100 trains, for which bids would be open next month, December, these would be having aluminum body. Then another 100, that would be, this 300 train sets would be distributed power. Then another 100 train sets, rates, these would be concentrated power. Power would be at both the ends. And these would be also having aluminum coach body, and they would be having sleeper coaches. Because aluminum is lighter weight, more energy efficient. So Indian Railways are also developing technology and going into the latest state of the art technology design. As far as metro is concerned, as per the information published by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, at present we have metro in 18 cities with 733 kilometer network. By 2025, 27 cities would be having metro with network of 1700 kilometers. And at present we have 1500 metro coaches. 2000 more coaches would be required by 2025. As per the metro policies, plan is million plus cities should have metro. So in next future, there would be 50 cities which would be having metro. And metros are also having different type of now metro light specifications have been given by Ministry of Housing. And metro new under trolley wire and having tire system. Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, that much traffic you don't require. So there is much economical version. Metro new would be having 40% cost of metro, and metro light about 70% cost. Then similarly, rolling stock, this 12,000 horsepower locomotive 800 would be built in Banaras Locomotive Works. Again, this would be from private sector. Bids are being invited. So these locomotives would be having 6,000 ton, all 6,000 ton, and average speed, balance speed would be 7,500 kilometer per hour. Infrastructure would be provided by railway, and whatever additional infrastructure is required for building of these locomotives as well as maintenance depot, these would be provided by the private players, those who would be the bidder. Then similarly, 1200 numbers of 8,000 horsepower locomotives would be manufactured. Bids are being invited, are already in the various stages at the hall. These locomotives would haul 4,500 tons at balance speed of 25 km per hour. So lot of changes in the railways are doing in the rolling stock design. That's what I would like to mention. Thank you.
No, it's really great, sir, because railway is also moving to the aluminum wagon, which is really a revolutionary thing, and we would like to congratulate them to do such extraordinary effort to making it. Over to you, Dr. Anirudh, regarding the development which Mr. Chauhan and Mr. Rajesh Agrawal has mentioned. The demand is going to happen for next 2025 or things. The introduction of new technology, where the RDSO role is very important. How we are going to support to the industry, and also it is related to the policy-driven things for the Make in India, where some of the eminent player or the global player, they are facing difficulties, but they are very willing to supply, they are very willing to set up the manufacturing unit and the standard products for the Indian Railway and the metro organizations.
Okay, thank you. So I'll just add on to what Agrawal sir and Chauhan sir said right now. You see, we are doing the safety, RDSO is doing the safety certification for metros. And we are also assisting the metros in many of the problems that they face. So one of the major things that is going to happen is that standardization of the metro systems. Now, the situation is quite similar to what happened in 1901 when there were multiple gauges and multiple technologies of railways, and Indian Railway Conference Association was set up to standardize the different, because otherwise the benefits of the scale of manufacture, the high scale of manufacture does not come to India. It remains outside. So that is one of the things. So I have had a few meetings with the ministry. The second thing is that we have to have indigenization. So right now all the metros are importing the propulsion systems, the signaling systems, CVTC and propulsion systems from outside the country. They are not being manufactured also here in India. What is being manufactured is the shell and the bogie and all those things. So that is another big opportunity for our industry, because our industry is also quite geared up for manufacturing these parts here in India, and they are going for joint ventures, etc., and also they are doing their own. So these are the two main challenges as far as I see, as far as the metro is concerned. One is the standardization, because right now, even in one city, two lines, they cannot, the coaches, we had this problem between Pune and Bangalore, and the coaches could not run because the gauge is different, the rail is different. There are many differences. So we have to now think of standardizing the metro design, and we are bringing out some standards for that. I have with me Mr. Schwihag. He is our Executive Director, Urban Transport, and we are working on the standardization of different areas of, and that will help the Indian industry. The second thing is the cost part, and that is becoming a very big issue right now. So there, in addition to the Metro Neo and Metro Light, we have suggested, and our white paper has been given on what is called as EBRT with grade separation. So this is a new concept which has come, and this will also help our Indian industry to develop their own designs. So what we are saying is that it's not only manufacturing in India, we are saying we design in India. We think the concepts in India, we sell these concepts outside the world. That's what I would say.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, please.
DMRC has done good job. They have developed with BEL automatic train protection system, IAT. Then similarly, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, they have set the deadlines for indigenization, communication-based train control system, 3 years. Then platform. Similarly, SCADA, artificial intelligence based 2 years. So lot of work is being done for indigenization.
Sir, the fundamental gap, what we are observing from the overall perspective, from the user, from the developer, from the maintainer, and from the industry side, a unified inventory which has to be manufactured, which has to be operated, and which has to be maintained by the authorities, because right now most of the metro and railway operations are different authorities. Mishra, to you, how the inventory is going, because Pune is not equivalent to, especially from the rolling stock side, with the Nagpur or the Bangalore or even DMRC. DMRC also using like BZ standard gauge, but those standard gauges cannot be interoperable, cannot be exchanged their equipment. So we are making metros with good numbers, although railway having some standard products which can be interchanged from one zone to another. How you are looking into the, it is going to can we use any of the metro or can any of the railway trains? Your view, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Metro system, because there are different metro authorities, and certainly every metro authority on their own strength have been trying to pace up the completion of projects. And of course, when different authority deal, there is a context for different customized solutions. But certainly we get by and large because I have been very intensely involved, and let me just give a brief about what Pune have been unique, Pune Metro. First thing, first time in India, this aluminum car body metro coaches, and that moreover in India. In India, we have been manufacturing. Of course, initial 3 trains design and 3 trains came. That was a beginning in Italy, who designed and supported 3 train supply, based on which we got a. Right now, we are manufacturing these trains already. Some 7-8 train we have already been delivered in Pune, manufactured in India. There is a Tata Works Limited company. So complete aluminum car body manufacturing is on full place happening. Another 10-15. So total 34 train. It is our order, 102 coaches. So we are doing reasonably well. And we have commissioned the train. There are challenges. So I feel that as far as if the items are manufactured, sourcing is done well in India, it is available. I don't see any issue regarding inventory. In some previous presentation, there was one very interesting thing. There was some zero strategy talk. Okay? Zero wastage energy, zero wastage of energy, zero wastage of things. I feel, and I am from railway background, that huge inventory, that could be passion for us. Okay? We are having inventory, then we are very happy that this one. But I feel now time has to revisit. Having inventory is not a very good healthy sign. It is a kind of wastage. It should be smart inventory, kind of, which is basically in Japan they use the term like, just in time. And even very interesting that rolling stock manufacturers are stakeholders in maintenance, and that way also they have optimized. Means mostly the maintenance part is basically with the company who are basically having partnership by the rail company as well as the manufacturers. So that way, the moment you order, it is possible. And technology and today's supply chain is so smart and efficient, I don't see it. So from my point of view, the key area is how we basically ensure that manufacturing is, all the items are sourced in India. In rolling stock, real challenge, what my practical experience I find, that is particularly electronic components, electronic parts, cards, and our high-end softwares. These are the challenges. These are somehow like our relays, even MCVs, what we are using. Still, we are sourcing from outside. Even if some agencies, they are only importing, by and large manufacturing. So that is the first challenge. I feel that industry has to see that these are duly manufactured in India, sourced here. This will basically be great relief, not only expediting the manufacturing, as well as production process, as well as basically managing this one. So this particular aspect, inventory, I feel is a key area that facilitating in the way, like a few examples. Right now, almost 70-80% items, including all the interior items, are our, and DMRC, a lot of thanks goes to DMRC. They took a lead, particularly setting up by Bombardier initially the plant, all this. So an ecosystem has been created. Like today, all our HVAC system, our brake system, which decades back where basically all these were imported items in India. So only thing is that the last stage, cherry at the top, particularly software, technology support, all these things, still all this, those things in totality should happen in India, this high-end activity.
No, thank you, sir, for giving this the brief one, because that is the real sense of understanding from the authority side and the industry side. Industry is putting upfront as Mr. Hers, you have a sense of developing the ancillary services, and automotive is one of the great example where they had standardized a lot. So not only the demand side, but also from the specification and the user acceptance side. So how you are looking the overall market scenario? Because there is a demand, but those demand are fragmented. It is not based on the industry. It is more based on the user side as the authority or as the specification comes. So what is your understanding about how the market will be come forward till 2025 or 35? But one more thing I would like to highlight here, it is not only the manufacturing. It is also the developing the overall ecosystem from the policy side, from the maintenance side, from the technology intervention side, and also getting the future type of design. So your word, please.
So good afternoon all, and I will take permission from my seniors on the dais to answer this question. So let me start that how the Indian railway business is emerging. If you recall, then the budget allocation for railway was around 45,000 crores in 2014. And if you will see the budget 21-22, the allocation was 2,15,000 crores. So this itself says that there is a very high amount of railway business in India. It is going into various sectors. And if you will see that 5 trillion economy, so it will need a very efficient logistic support, whether it will be from air or it can be from by road, it can be by railways. But if you will see, the major chunk is going into railway, the major investments. And there is a huge innovation and transformation has happened into railway industries because we have selected type of racks now. For example, if you will see what are the versions available in India for metros or Indian railways. So there is regional line which is coming, RRTS, metros are there, light metros are being planned, then Neo Light is there, then Atmanirbhar Bharat, Indian Railway Initiative. So there are multiple things which are happening. And I will say that we have reached to the level of not more than 30% to the expectations in order to really meet the 5 trillion economy. Because we have not yet seen the maglev repulsion magnet technology, which China is already trying it. Bullet train, I think maybe in next 1 or 2 years we'll be able to see. So there is a lot to be done. The supply chain for bullet train will be required. So there will be local components which will be required. Localization will be certainly there. Now we are at the level of 3 trillion economy what we have achieved. So there is opportunity in all the business, whether it is service sector, railway or roadways. So every business will have opportunities. The major opportunity which I will open up from this forum, that pollution control equipment, if anyone can develop, it will be mostly required, because if you are aware that we carry 12 most polluted cities in the world and Delhi is the first. So this will be one of the things which will be required in trains or buses, because we were discussing about the transportation. So all means will need these equipments to be fitted, whether it is in railway or buses. So now the time is short, so let me brief up for the metro. Dr. Anirudh is there. This is my personal opinion, because I have traveled in most of the metros from in Europe, China and other countries. The kind of technology, the kind of passenger experience which I have felt traveling into those regional trains or the metros, I have never felt in India. And the reason what I feel, like when we started with Delhi Metro, there was a platform which we selected around 16, 17 years back. But now we are still going on with the same platform, which I could feel because I have traveled in Chennai, I have traveled in Mumbai, I have traveled in Delhi. So we need to come out of this cost mindset and see that what are the new models. We are still into basic model, like we get in Maruti, basic model. Then a next version. So we are still traveling in a Maruti 800, which was launched at the same time when we started with Delhi Metro thought process. So we need to migrate to that. So there is a huge potential, and India will migrate. Time will come when we will migrate to those level of metros and regional trains. So there is a huge potential, because if demand will be there, so ultimately business will be there. Now in metro, just I am telling you that around 850 kilometer track is being laid for the metro which are in operation. Okay, 1450 are under construction. Then 780 kilometers, the new metros which are approved. 450, 780 which are under approval. So we are still at 30%. So 70% sitting in this, because maybe in 20 demand will be very high, because most of the construction will get completed. So
very true. You have very clearly highlighting that the manufacturer should gear up. But those manufacturers, supplier or vendors having a very clear want a very clear commitment from the government, from the policy side, that the contracting model should be have some leverage of exit sometimes, because it's a captive investment. They have to first the supply, they have to maintain their cash flow. So the contracting of those sub vendor to the main supplier or towards the authority is very critical and very crucial. Mr. V. Narayan, how you see the whole scenario? Because contract management of back to back is also very much important.
When we are discussing the goals, it is the contractor who has to deliver the goals. So our contract agreement and contract principles should incorporate these things. We should remember one thing, that it is the goal which should matter to us. But what we go in the other direction is that we tend to treat the contract agreement as a sacrosanct. We should treat the project or the goal as a sacrosanct, and therefore we have been given the power to amend the contract agreement as and when required. So we have to be flexible. We have to make our contract agreement accordingly, so that goals can be achieved and contractors are eager to do the work within that goal. I would like to also tell, because there is a lot of discussion on the urban infra also. Recently, railway has changed a lot, because any discussion on urban infra will be incomplete if the railway is not involved, because railway plays a vital role in the all infrastructure project. The share of the freight earning, which was 83% in the 1950 or so, it had come down to 35%, and as a result, the percentage of the logistic cost, transportation cost, had increased to 13.2, I think, 13.2%. It is 6 to 7% in the railway, 16 to 17 in the road. Because our share is only 35%, so our cost is coming in the double figures. The prime target of PM is that we should reduce this logistic cost to the single digit if we have to be viable in the market. So our first target is that we are increasing our railway share from 35% to 55%. And there have been contractual expenditures and capex in this direction. About 7 years before, the capex of the railway was only 43,000 crore. Now this year it is 1,27,000 crore. And even after that, 10,000 crore additional grant has been asked by the railway. So it will now come to 1,37,000, and as per the railway minister, they have the target to spend 2 lakh crore per year. So this is the change that railway is giving. Once freight earning goes to the railway, this will be a big boost to the economy. Now we are our speed of laying track is now about 12 kilometer. About 5 years it was 4 kilometer per day. Now it is 12 kilometer. And highway are being I think 16 to 17. And the target is to overcome the highways. We are targeting at 20. These are some of the measures which have been taken. One of the measures is Gati Shakti that have been taken. 9,000, 12,000 HPs they are being made. Vande Bharat they are being manufactured here, and even the stations. Though station is not a part of the earning, but since we are living in the present age of 2022, where every passengers want to be treated as good as like in metro, so about 130 stations are being made to the airport standards, and huge capital expenditure is being given. Apart from this, 3 stations, Mumbai, New Delhi and Ahmedabad, they are being upgraded to the world class station. So this is the change we are doing in the railways, and it will bring some changes in the overall scenario of the Indian economy.
That's great, sir, and that is the only motivating factor for all those manufacturer who or the supplier who wants to enter into the railway and the metro segment, because it's a huge money they are highlighting from the investment point of view. Dr. Anirudh and another with Mr. Rajiv Agrawal. First is related to the scheme, some of the government policy which is promoting the overall manufacturing and the supply part. Like we have the electronic manufacturing, the PLI scheme, or in the bus segment there is a subsidy scheme, but till now there is no such subsidy scheme for the technological development or for the new product development from the industry or to the industry from the government side. So how you are looking these kind of the essential elements to be developed from the government side or from the RDSO side?
Okay, before I answer your question, let me just answer about the high technology maglev somebody raised. So, Ministry of Railways has already supporting IIT Madras startup on the Hyperloop development, and we have funded from the railway side, and from RDSO side we have a full team consisting of various officers from various disciplines who are supporting this project. So the ministry is looking towards high technology in maglev. So we are looking there. So there are many more areas where we are looking. Where, for example, we developed our own indigenous automatic train protection board called Kavach, and further on ATS and ATO also going on. So there is a technology-wise, there is quite consciousness at the ministry level and at the government level to develop more and more highly sophisticated technologies. Now coming to the support to the industry, in terms of developing the subsidies that you said. Now if you look, our rules are already there. The policy is already there that we support indigenous development. We support our Indian industry in terms of advances, giving them money for developing tools and dies or any softwares and all that. And this is part of our source code. It's not new. In fact, when Indianization started happening post independence 1987, when RDSO was established, all these rules were put into place because at that time we did a very fast pace of Indianization of the railway technology, including rolling stock, track, everything, signal and OHE and everything. So the provisions are already there, and people are making use of it. Let's say at CLW, when we were indigenizing the ABB locomotive, we use this to give lot of, it's not called subsidy, it's called developmental advances or something like that. And similarly, in many of the production units, we have used this facility, so this already exists. Maybe it can be increased further if the industry demands. So it already exists. The policy is already there, and we do give all these kind of supports to the industry.
Industry always having a good demands and from the government side and the policy maker. So question to Rajiv sir, as we discussed, institutional arrangement has to be developed for the integrated demand, because the manufacturer is looking for, and also how the overall contracting model is going to, because now the 75% component is from Make in India, that is one of the contractual conditions. So how you are looking from the government side, the push, whether it's a conditional push or you can say it is an institutional arrangement to complement those 75% supply, and also from the vendor who can easily come forward and supply those new equipments, new designs. Maybe they are having a very good technological equipments, but being a startup, they are not fulfilling the contractual conditions. So how you are looking into it from the government side as a policy?
See, actually, I want to give two very specific insights. I was fortunate to be at the helm of the Apex member as a member of the Railway Board, and we could grow the industry by $1 billion year on year for 2 years. And that basically meant to the occasion. So in that specifically, I'd like to spend 1 lakh crores. 1 lakh crores is an opportunity for the industry at large. So what will happen is that a whole number of tenders would be rolled out, and everybody will get into a rat race. They will start undercutting each other. The quality will go dogs. Nobody will know where to, it's like, the rats going after the little cake and everybody marving chapatta. And this will happen. And finally, in that spend of 1 lakh crores, maybe nothing is spent, or something is spent and nothing gets done, nobody is happy. At the helm, we should have some level of consolidation. Because the kind of money that is available is more than enough for everybody. Enough cake for everybody to eat. It's not necessary to convert the eating of the cake into a rat race and everybody marving chapatta. So like when we grew the industry, as I said, $1 billion year on year, we had aggregated meetings with the suppliers. And then everybody was happy. And everybody knew how much he could do. And we gave everybody space. In case you can do more, please tell us. That kind of a consolidated action is required at the helm. Otherwise, there is no point in us telling ki $1 million available hai ya 1 lakh crore available hai. It is like throwing the money into the air and everybody running after it. That's one. The second important thing, I think, is that like in the automobile sector, we have two organizations. We have the SIAM, Society of Automobile Manufacturers, and we have the ACMA, the Components Manufacturers Association. The rail industry has nothing. So I have been insisting, right when I became the member of the Railway Board, and maybe a forum like the Urban Infrastructure, we have to develop a Rail Component Manufacturers Association. We have to develop a society for the Rail Association. If we don't do that, the money will be thrown at you, you will be running like rats, and finally all these questions will remain unanswered. So I just two quick insights.
I would like to add one thing. Now, all the railway contracts are long-term contracts, 35 years.
Sorry, we are taking 5 more minutes. Just.
These 400 days, these would not be only supplying for that. They have to maintain for 35 years. Similarly, I was for locomotive, they have to maintain 35 years. Another tender, since we are having shortage of forged wheel sets, long-term contract for 35 years, is that tender is being invited, and assured delivery has been given that he would be given that so many wheel sets per annum he has to supply for 35 years. So these major policy decisions.
Absolutely, very true. And the industry has to play a very integral role along with what the government or the authority is looking for. Parallelly, the institutional development, not only from the manufacturing side or the skill assessment is also very much important to grasp all those changes is going to happen in the railway and the metro industry, where the operating authorities, the developing authorities and the overall advisory board has to support in an integrated format so that the the overall demand people can, or of the urban transport also. We are talking about more of the railway and metro because that is predominant, very much evident in our society or in Indian context. But other mode of transport will also going to happen where the rolling stock, their rolling stock will also come into the picture, whether it's cable car, the bus based or metro neo or even a trolley bus type of things will come. Where the industry has to come forward, they have to open their barrier. Also, we have to arrange the overall financials because these are the captive based investment and some sense of security for their financing their overall effort. It is very much required. So concluding today's session that we have to come forward and we have to look ahead for the overall growth. All three has to work from the government side, from the execution authority and the development partners like vendors, sub-vendors and the ancillary units. Integrated way they have to develop and come very much required success from the business side and from the user perspective. Thank you very much for today's session and then giving us insight about how the overall development is going to happen in near future. Thank you very much. And I would like to also thank Urban Infra team to organizing such a knowledgeable session. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. And may I invite Mr. Rajesh Maheshwari, MD Go Green, to kindly do the honors of presenting a token of gratitude, a memento on behalf of the organizers. We begin with presenting to Mr. Veer Narayan, Technical Director, Project Management, Railway and Metro Systems Limited, Systra Limited. Thank you, sir. We present to Mr. Rajesh Agrawal, Principal Advisor, Tata Steel's New Material Business. Thank you, sir. We present to Dr. Anirudh Gautam, Principal Executive Director, RDSO. Thank you, sir, for being here with us. We present to Mr. MC Chauhan, former General Manager, NCR and Metro Railway, Kolkata, Indian Railways. Thank you, sir. We present to Mr. Devendra Dutta Mishra, Executive Director, RS Maha Metro. Thank you. Kumar. And to our eminent moderator, Mr. Keshav Kumar, Railway System Expert. Thank you, Mr. Maheshwari, for doing the honors. May I request for a group photograph from the panel, sir? A group photograph, sir. Before we move out for lunch, we have one quick presentation of about 10 minutes by Ms. Vinita Srivastava, Executive Director, Heritage Railway Board, Ministry of Railways, after which we will presentation. May I invite you, ma'am, for the presentation.